and once the session will be over, will be open for the questions. You also can send the questions on the chat boxes while the session is on. All over to you, Meenakshi ma'am.
Thank you, Drupti ma'am. Yeah, good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing fine. And I'm your guide for today for this interactive and creative session on Scratch. I hope all of you are already teaching Scratch in your classroom. And here we will going to learn Scratch from the scratch only. Basically, we will covering the basics so that you would be aware of the basic building blocks of the Scratch platform, as well as we will going to learn. I hope the screen is visible to everyone.
Yeah, ma'am, the first slide is visible.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I thought I got confused a little bit. Sorry. So we will going to learn about Scratch, and I'll start with the ideally first. Basically, we will going to learn about the interface of the Scratch, right? And then we will, come with the practical part. Let me clear you one thing first, because here we will going to be cover some series of webinar on Scratch. So this is the first one, or we can say the first tutorial or first webinar on the Scratch, where we will going to demystify the concept, and we will going to learn basic interface of Scratch, right? The building blocks, the interface, and the other like the sprite information and many things that we can interact with the ideally. And later on, of course, we will also cover the programming part, but later on we will cover, like in different webinars, we will cover the project-based method, the computational thinking concept, right? How to think logically, because, Scratch is a building blocks platform where the pressure of syntax is very much less, right? And the child has to put focus on the logic, right? Whenever we do any coding, we have two kind of pressure. First is with the syntax of the coding, right? And the language part, and the second with the logic. So here we are providing this like the building blocks platform to the students, so that they can only work with the logic part, right? And that too in very interesting and a creative manner. Scratch is one of the, I say, wonderful platform where the child or you, even we, can give wings to our creativity, right? And you know what, we can create many things, from simple programming to animation to story to games programming. We can do multiple things with Scratch. So without wasting any other time, I'll proceed with some more information. So what is Scratch? Obviously, Scratch is, the MIT product, a very fun as a visual ways to learn coding. And it contains many blocks which help us to make stories, games, and animation. So let us explore the interface of Scratch first. Let us, know or understand the window of Scratch. I hope till here I am very much clear. And Tripti ma'am, please let me know, am I audible properly to
Yeah,
everyone?
you're audible properly. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So here you can see we have this ideally the Scratch interface, where we have like the menu bar which contain like file menu, where just like any other software, we have file menu where we have an option to save or loader like the pre-built programs. And here is a concept, Scratch project is there, where you can change it with your own name, right? And here you can see the screen. Let's start with here, the block panels, right? Here you can see we have three tabs: code, costumes, sound, right? This is a block panel. Here we can see these are the building block of Scratch, where we have in this 9 blocks are there. And here we have this block palettes. Like for motion block, we have this motion block category. If you click on the looks block, you will having the list block categories, right? Similarly, for sound, event, control, sensing, operators, variables. These are the building blocks of the Scratch, using which you can create unlimited wonders. But at the same time, Scratch also provides us the facility of my block, like my blocks, this block. Here you can define your own functionality. You can create your own blocks. Of course, like if you have a like experience in programming language, like in C++ or Python, there is a concept of function, right? Like when you can create your own function, when you can define your own definition, and then you can use it in a program. So similarly, Scratch has the facility, it provides us the facility to create our own blocks, right? And here you can see we have this like the coding area where the actual execution of the script take place. We have to use this drag and drop method. We have to click these blocks to this area. We have to snap it to the block notch, and then the execution take place. And of course, we do have multiple extension. By clicking on this button, you can access to multiple new extension that can, provide more edges to this, like the Scratch programming. And now let's move to this action area. You know what this action area, this area is known as a stage where all the action take place. This cat, this pretty cat, basically the official mascot of the Scratch, right? We call it sprite, right? And of course, this is a default sprite of the Scratch, but at the same time, we do have a facility to add multiple sprite and in different way. For example, we have a different way, like we can say 4 way to add a sprite in a program. And this stage, the where all the action take place, we have this, we can, change it or make it more interactive by changing the backdrops. So here you can see we have option add a backdrop. Just like a sprite, we have a 4 ways to add sprite into this like area, or add sprite to the like the stage. At the same time, we can are provided with 4 different option to change the backdrop of the stage. Now look at this sprite information. This is a sprite info pane, you can say it, or here you can change the properties of the sprite. For example, when here is a sprite and sprite one is mentioned. So you can see the default name is appear here, but at the same time you can change it here by just click here, and you have to remove this and you can rename it. Now you can see here the facility of hiding or showing your like sprite. If you click on any one button, then you can make the sprite appear or disappear. You can change the size of the sprite also, right? And in case you can change the direction of the sprite also, move it left, right, anywhere you want to make it move, you can do it. Here you can see one more thing, this X and Y. Does anyone know what is the significance of this X and Y? Because I want to know, I want to make this session interactive, and I want to have your inputs also. To kindly mention in the chat box, what is the significance of this X and Y? Please provide me some answer. Why do we use this?
Yeah, ma'am, we have the answers in the chat box. Can I request you to open the camera as well, Meenakshi ma'am?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Coordinates, right? Coordinates. Because, very good. Thank you, everyone. Yes, that's it. So basically, our stage is divided into X and Y, like, numbers. So this X axis and Y axis, basically, when you must have learned in maths. Let me show you. See, here, this is the actual picture of our stage area. In mathematics, we have learned about the x-axis and a y-axis. Similarly, our stage is divided into that dimension only. And that's help us to locate the sprite. For example, whenever we add any sprite to the stage, then we do have a like the flexibility, or, we can change the position of the sprite. This x-axis is the horizontal axis, right? And this y-axis is the vertical axis. Mean, if you want to change the position of the sprite from left to right, then you have to deal with the x-axis. You have to set its value. For example, for like right side, you have positive sets of value. Left side, you have a negative sets of value. Similarly, if you want to make your sprite upward and, downward direction, then we have y-axis for the same. And with the help of y-axis, by setting or putting the value here, you can change the position of the sprite accordingly, right? Here, we can do it manually whenever we add any sprite and we want to set its position. But yes, we do have some blocks in like for the coding part. There also we can specify the position of X and Y as per our requirement or the requirement of the programs, right? So here, wow, by the coordinates are very important, and that's why we are provided with the X and Y value. So let us little bit learn about the blocks, because we have learned that there are 9 blocks, but what actual significance of this block, we will going to, going to have some couple of slides for the same, so that, we all are on the same page when we do the programming part. So blocks, first is a motion block. This is a block that deals with the movement of the sprite. If you want to make your sprite move anywhere to the stage or through some coding, so though we can drag and drop in the stage, but yes, if we want to do some coding and we want to navigate the sprite as per our code, then we have to use this motion block. It contains many categories of blocks where you can make the sprite move to X and Y direction accordingly, right? Then the next block is like looks block. And looks block is especially used to change the appearance of the sprite. Basically, for example, whenever we add any sprite from the library, okay, so you have the option, different option, means basically the position, the arrangement, difference, your the pose, right? Different poses of the sprite. We can control it, we can change it, and we can make them change as per the trigger of event. And of course, we do have a sound block. You can add sound to your stage, or you can add sound to your programming. Then the event block. Event block basically is used to trigger the event, right? For example, if we have like a um just so if we have like something, what we understand by the event, something has to trigger, right? Something has to be take place in order to execute any sprite. For example, let it understand with a simple example. Suppose in our home we have fan, right? Fan is there, but it will going to run until or unless we switch on the button. That is the event, that is a trigger, right? So similarly, we snap blocks, category different blocks one another, and after that, by using some event, we can trigger that sprite to execute, right? So that is how we have an event block for the same. We have a different event on it. Very famous event is when the green flag clicked. That is used to run the sprite. That is used to execute the program. And we have the control blocks, very wonderful block, just like in your programming, real programming, you must have seen like there's a if programming, loops programming, forever loops. Basically, these are the programming which are used to control the structure or the execution of the program. We provided with multiple lines of code, but based on certain condition, right? Based on certain conditions, based on certain factors, we want that code to be executed. So that's how control blocks run. Then we come to sense block. Of course, you will get more of its significance when we do the practical part, but just for to make you understand, basically, as the name suggests, something related to the detection of the object, related to the colors and any other thing, then we use these blocks. And of course, there's one of the important concept of sensing block, like, we do have question ask block where you can get input from the user. So that is one of the important block that is, falls under this category. And of course, in the practical part, we will covering everything. And operators, as the name suggests, for doing any mathematical calculation, logical calculation, relational operator calculations, we use these operator blocks, right? It's contain many sub blocks where you can use to do some calculation part. Now here comes the variable block. I want to if you are okay with the explanation part, or in case if you find any problem, kindly mention in the chat box. That is fine with you. Are you getting with me? So if it is okay, please kindly mention in the chat box. I don't want
The
ki,
chat box is blocked.
the explanation is okay.
My chat box is blocked. We can't write anything in the chat box.
Is it so?
No, no, no. It is open. You can write.
So in case if there's any queries or any something like relation to the blog, otherwise we will cover that in a practical part. But as I'm going through the the theoretical part, so in case if you want some clarification, to kindly mention in the chat box, right? Then of course we have a variable block. Variable blocks means you need to create some variables. Variables are just like a container which are used to hold the values, right? For example, if you want to say add two number, then you need to get two number from the user. where you will going to store that number? You have to at least have some variables, a place, a storage space in a computer, right? That is why we used to create variables. And after the calculation, you need to save the result. Of course, for that also, you need to have declare one variable, right? So totally like the variables are used to store the result. Variables are used to store the immediate values. Variable, as the name suggests, that means changing, and the value goes on change. So it always, store the very, changing value, and basically used to store the result, right? So, and my block, I have already told you, whenever the time will come, we'll go advanced in the programming, then only we will do it. It means to create our own blocks, right? Like the above blocks, you can create your own functionality, you can create your own blocks, right? Okay, and this is the last thing we are discussing, basically in theoretical part, because this is one of the important concept I would like to explain you. Because, we have a different category of blocks, right? And we have already learned about that there are 9 different categories of blocks, but in that category also, we have some, different another category, which help you to identify the type of blocks. For example, here we have a hat blocks. So this is when the green flag clicked, you can see the shape of this block. It has like the notch at the bottom, which specifically indicate that you can stack block below it, but cannot above it. So it's clearly signifies. So you have to be make sure, like whatever block you are choosing, what kind of like the shape it is, whether it's fall in the category of hats block or block, it will help you to identify the blocks and help you to, move faster in a programming. Then this is the stack block, which have notch on like on the top and the bottom. And of course, you can fit this block in between any other blocks. Means you can put a block above it, you can put a block or snap a block below it. So here this is called a stack blocks, right? And of course, maximum category of blocks, falls under this stack blocks only, right? Then we have this reporter block, right? You can see the shape of the block. For example, this kind of blocks are specifically used in a placeholder, right? As you can see, this stack block has this placeholder where you can add some value. And if requires, you can drag this block and fit it here, because you can see the shape is properly fitted here. Okay, so this category of block, rounded kind of category of blocks, which can hold numeric or string values, you can fit it here. Okay, I hope the things are clear pretty much. And the last thing, last category, these are the Boolean blocks. Okay, and you can see the shape of this block. So if there are certain blocks like, the if blocks are there where we have a placeholder like this, right? And you very well know, when we do some if programming, if when we use some if statement, right? So they are always, we put some condition. If statement always work with the condition, and this kind of blocks are used to apply some condition. So can anyone tell me, you can write in the chat box, what is the output of this Boolean blocks always, whether in a calculative way or in some different way? What kind of output we get from these Boolean blocks? Please write in the
Yes
chat
or
box.
no? Yes and no answer.
Yes, yes and no. True or false, or yes and no, right? Because that is the like the best medium to give you the like the put the condition, and on based on which we can move further with the execution of other code. Yes, thank you everyone. Thank you. Right. Then C blocks. So this is a forever block, a category of C block where you can snap a put inside different blocks, right? Basically here we have a forever block. You can see the shape. It's like it's kind of wrap block basically, and you can put another blocks inside that block, right? So they are basically 5 C block category. And last is a cap block category. Like if you want, you can see here. Basically, C block and cap block seem pretty much like the same as per the like the structure, but C block is more like a wrap block. You can place other blocks inside it. And of course, you can't put below the forever block, right? Because there's no notches there. At the same time, caps lock, you can see there you cannot put anything below it. You can add something above it. So here we have the description of the ID area and a different type of blocks. And let us, do some programming part. And please write on this in the chat box. Are you ready with some programming? Or you want to some clarify something? Are you ready with the programming? Yes.
Yes, madam.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So I hope the screen is visible.
Yeah,
Visible
ma'am,
to everyone?
it is visible.
Yes, it's visible, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So after going through a lot of like the theoretical part, now it's a time for action, right? We have actually we're going to do some programming, okay? And we are pretty much, aware or acquainted with this the interface and ideally, and let's do some programming part and we'll try to do step by step only. Here is a sprite. Already the default sprite is there. You can change its property. For example, if I want to change the name of the sprite, I can simply click here and write down its new name, right? Okay. I want to change the size of the sprite. Okay. I do have an option. I can make it 150. Right. You can see here we have a costume tab, right? Every sprite, are come up with two different pose or two or more than that pose, and you can use in that in your programming. Then we have this sound tab also in order to add some sound to your program. And right. So here we have a green flag to execute your program. And let us see this option to choose a sprite. We have this option. This is a default sprite. If you want to remove it, you can remove it. If you want to add some like a new sprite, so there are four ways to add sprite to your like the stage. First one is choose a sprite from the library. Click here. Okay. And these further are categorized into different way. For example, if you're very much clear which sprite or which category of sprite you want to use, if you're looking for animal sprite, people, dance, music, sports, then you can, select any one of it, right? As per your choice. Similarly, if you are not, comfortable or you are not, satisfied with the library, then you can paint your own sprite. Okay. Scratch provide you a facility to paint your own sprite, and you can save it. You can make a like a costume or another poster for it, the same, right? So this is how you can create your own sprite. If you want the Scratch to surprise you with a new sprite, just click here and the new sprite will appear, but that would be selected by the Scratch only. Okay, you have, asked it or you have chosen that option. Another is one of the wonderful, I think, if you're not comfortable or not satisfied these three categories and you want to upload your sprite, maybe you want to upload your pics, maybe you want to do animation and some interesting thing with the real images from the net, any other thing. So you can, upload your sprite also. So these are the four ways to add sprite to the stage. And if you want to change the backdrop, again, we have same option. For example, I'm choosing a backdrop. This is pure white now, and I want to make it something good. So we can, select from here. Okay. You can see backdrop has changed. Okay. And you can just check this X and Y coordinate. Wherever I'm dragging this scratch, the position is changing, right? Okay. So we have set up the stage. We have a sprite. We can add new sprite and we already know how to do it. Okay. So let us do some coding part. So first of all, I want my sprite to move. Okay. So we'll go with the motion category, right? Let's select some event, some trigger. So I'll go this event category and I want my sprite to move whenever the green flag clicked. Okay. This is my trigger. This is my action. I drag this block here. This is a coding area. This is a block palette. This is a block panel. Okay. Wherever you will going to click, it will show the respective blocks of the particular category, right? So I think we are pretty much, clear with this interference part. And now we have to make the sprite move. Of course, let's see, move, let's track this, move 10 step. Okay. Now, whenever you click on green flag, it will make the sprite to move 10 step. Let's see. 1, okay, 2, 3. It's moving, but it's not showing any smooth effect, smooth transition effect, right? Every time I have to click green flag. Okay, no problem. We'll take on step by step and make it more good, right? Now I want, it shows some, moving effect, right? It shows some sort of moving effect. So I'll do one thing. I'll go to the looks category, because looks category is that category which help us to change the pose or the look or the appearance of the sprite. Okay, I'll go to the look category and I'll select next costume. Okay, I want, like, whenever I press green flag, it will, move 10 step, as well as it will change his costume. Means you can see costume is a changing position, walking position. Okay, so let's see. I'll click on green flag again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm just like I'm clicking on the green flag. It's make the sprite move further, and it's showing proper walking effect. You can see. Okay. But this is something, is there any confusion? Someone has raised hand. Want to say anything?
Yeah, madam. Can we customize that
Good.
background? Because for the sprite, we can change the color. Everything is possible to change the background color or modify according to our wishes.
Yes, of course, we have this 4 category. I have chosen this background from the library only. Okay, these are the category from, like, just like you have changed the sprite, you can change the background.
I am not saying
You
to
want
change
me
the
to change the
background.
background again?
Suppose that in the desert, the tree is green color. I want to make the same tree color in a yellow color or red color.
Basically, I think you have this like costume part, and here you can do some changes. Okay, there you can do some changes, but as per your requirement, you have to do it very carefully so that a good effect should come. I think, is it okay? Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes. So see, every time, I have to, again, every time I have to click on green button, but it's not moving automatically. This is something which is not making like good effect. But yes, whenever I'm clicking on green flag, it's make my sprite move. Now, what I really want, I want my sprite to move forever without clicking green flag again and again. I want to check for some control. Okay, so I'll go control. Of course, control block is there. Click here. And I want my sprite to move continuously, right? Without, clicking green button again and again. So I'll drag this forever block and tell me which category of forever block is there, under which category forever block fall, because, we have discussed. Just write in chat box. Either it's hat block, reporter block, boolean block, C block, cap block. Which kind of block is there? Let us see who remember. Write your answer in chat box. Anyone else?
Kindly repeat your question again, ma'am.
Block.
Which kind of category? Which categories fall forever block? We have discussed
Lab
6
block.
kind of category. Yes,
C
yes.
block.
Lab block.
Yes. Right. Thank you. Okay. Now I'm using this forever block. As I told you earlier, we can put any blocks inside it. Okay. So you can see. And now I'm, snapping this forever block under this event block. And now I want my sprite to move. Okay. But you can see on reaching edge, it just got stuck. Okay. Okay. See. It's moving, but it's moving very fast. There are 2 problems. One is it moving very fast, and another, it getting, stuck on the edge. So let me, have some another block to rectify this problem. So I'll do one thing. I have another block called motion block. And here, if on edge bounce, let us, try this. Okay. If on edge bounce. So when now, and I want my sprite to move gracefully, not in a hurry state. So I do have another control. Let me check. Here we have a weight control. Okay. Let me snap it below move costume, next costume, and I'll change its value. Okay, 0.5 or 0.3. Okay, okay.
Hello.
And I want my sprite to move now. It's still moving very slow. Let me change it to 0.2. Okay, now it's moving. See, now when it reached to edge, it came back, but in a reverse manner. Let me rectify this also. Now it's not getting stuck on the edge, but yes, there's something we need to do. Okay, set rotation style. Left to right. Let me try this. Okay. I think this is perfectly fine now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the sprite is moving gracefully, slowly, and on reaching edge, it's come back. It's coming back. Okay. This is a very basic problem using program using the motion block, right? Now, let's take another event. Okay. For that, we will going to let's see, take another sprite. Okay.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes, sir.
Mostly we are using all the blocks, but till now I don't know what is the actual use of the cap block. Because we never use this cap block in any of the function.
Basically, they are very minimum use of this caps lock. It's used to stop all the sprite, and in some condition you may use that, but like in a 10% or 5% situation, you use that. Basic, but most of the time we use
Mummy,
stat block or hand
sorry.
block and
Cut.
report. Yes, ma'am. Is there any problem? Like question?
No, ma'am, you continue this.
Okay. Okay. So let's take another event. We have covered when a green flag clicked. Now we'll take another event. When the sprite clicked. Okay. Okay. Let me take the sprite first. That's why it's not showing any option. Let me take. Okay. Let's take monkey sprite. Okay. Now I'm taking another event when the sprite clicked. Okay, I'm already, we have done with when the green flag clicked. We are taking another event when the sprite clicked. To take it here, let us check in the costume. How many costume we have this for this sprite? 2, 3. Okay. Okay. Now, see, under looks category, we have an option of next costume, right? If we are okay, like whatever may come, so it will, automatically lead to the next costume in a series. But if we are very particular about the costume, like suppose for this monkey, we have 3 costume, and we want while executing the program, it will lead to the C, not B. Of course, when we use next costume, it will automatically take us to the B costume and then C costume. But we are very much clear that we don't want to execute B costume. We want our like sprite move to the C costume rather than B costume. At that time, we do have other codes like switch costume category, where specifically we can select to which costume we want our sprite to switch. Okay. So like take this switch costume category, and okay, I'll select monkey C. I don't want to go with B. Okay. Now I want to add some sound here. And you can say, see, here we have this sound category. Whenever you select any sprite, it will automatically embed that sound category with relate to that sprite. For example, monkey chomp, right? The kind of sound that could be easily, automatically embedded to that sound category. As we do have a facility, you can go to the sound tab and can select multiple like sound. There are multiple options there. But yes, whenever by default, it can embed is like the category with the category related to the sprite only. Okay. Okay. Now I want to make that make this monkey glide. There's two way to move, go to XY position, or I want some smooth glide should be there. Okay. So I'm taking this block glide, right? And to the random position. Okay. And then I can do one thing. I can switch again, showing some effect. I can make the sprite to switch to another costume. Let's say A. Now, what are our intention? We want whenever the sprite is clicked, not the green flag clicked, okay? Because we have cleared that thing when the sprite clicked, okay? And then whenever we click on the sprite, the costume will be changed. It will change to the C, this costume, okay? This one. And then it will also play a sound, right? And it will make the sprite to glide for 1 second to some random position, any random position. And at that time, it will make the sprite to move or switch to the costume A. So let us, click on the sprite to check the effect. Something interesting we can do in the class and make the child, have fun for the same. Are you able to hear the sound also?
No, madam.
No,
Sound is not coming?
No, ma'am, no.
no, no, no.
No, low volume. Low volume.
Okay, just a minute. Huh? Is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay. And it's moving to random position. Just think how interesting for the student of third or second for doing this type of coding, and with minimum blocks only. You can create your story also. Be creative, right? In this way, we can create a very small story. I personally believe that Scratch is not only for the computer teachers, but for every teachers, for the EVS teacher who want to, show some creativity in a classroom. They can even use this platform to create their own story, right? To create their own imagination, or, to give wings to their imagination. So, so is it okay? Are you able to understand this block? Shall we move further? Shall we move further? Please write. Is there any problem, any confusion? Okay. So let's do another program. We have covered motion and looks blocks. Some of the blocks category of motion, looks, and sound block, because under sound, we don't, have something more, because we have major two categories are there: play and place until and play. Okay. Let's do another program. Let's take another category of sprite. Let's see, let's choose a sprite. Okay. If you want to change our backdrop also, you can change it. Okay. Best would be if you have something in your mind or something kind of story or vision in your mind, you can change the backdrop accordingly. I'm just doing it randomly to explore, some category of blocks so that it would be easy for all of you to understand the basic concept. Now, again, we click on the event block and we, track when a green flag clicked, and we will be using like looks category to make us try to move or to say something, right? So we have this category of say block. Just drag this category and snap it below it. And for example, like say, hi, I'm Abby. Okay, because the name of the sprite is Abby. For 2 seconds, it will appear. And we will going to use this sensing block also, because it will going to interact with the user. So first of all, the sprite will going to introduce itself using the say block. Yes, just like your print statement in your programming, say work like that only, right? So hi, I'm Abby, and it will ask us our name. Okay. So let's click on the sensing block. And in sensing block, we do have this ask block. Click here or drag it here. Now it will ask our name. What is your name? It's asking to us, what's your name? And do remember one thing, whatever the answer we will going to add, it will automatically save in this answer variable. This is a default variable. You have to make this thing understand that we have a variables block where you can create your own variable as per your requirement. But at the same time, like under sensing category, we have this default variable, answer variable, where whatever you will ask, because for getting input from the user, we have to use this block, ask block. Okay. And whenever you ask or get input from the user, you have to save it somewhere. By default, Scratch save that answer under the inside the answer variable. Okay. And further, you can, using the variable block can change or it can fit that, take that value and set it in your own variable. I'll show further how we can do it. So when the green flag clicked, the sprite is asking to us, hi, I'm Heavy. It's, explaining its own name, and then it's asking to us like, what's your name? Now that name would be saved this answer block. Now what we're going to do, we'll take a loops block. Okay. And I'll make use of one operator block also, because we will going to print or display the answer. So operator block. And here you can see, because I have already explained you, operator blocks contain many operators, logical, arithmetic, Boolean operator. At the same time, we have this join operator. Okay, we'll put it here. Okay, now one question, what category of join operator, under which category this join operator falls? Tell me. We have discussed it earlier only. How long this webinar will go? I think wrap it around 5:15. If it is okay with everyone, 5:15 is okay. Okay. Under which kind of category is join block? Because we have learned about different 6 kind of category: hats block, cap block.
Reporter block.
Yes, yes, because it can be placed inside any placeholder. Okay. Now, what is the significance of using this join block? Because I want to display the answer. I want that this sprite will display my name. Okay. So if I like randomly use this answer here, okay, let us, let me show you both way. So let me run this program first. When the green flag clicked, it will say, hi, I'm Abby. What's your name? Now I'm supposed to enter my name. Okay. Meenakshi. And now when I click on this tick mark, it will say Meenakshi. Okay. But I want something more. Well, I want the sprite should welcome me in a good way, because under this block, under this variable, my name is stored. I know because I have entered my name and it will, going to save in this variable. But I want that the sprite should create in a good way. So I'll use this operator block. Under this block, will put select this block and drag it here. And now I want the sprite, whatever I want the sprite to welcome in particular way. This is welcome. Okay. Now I drag this answer block here for concatenation. Like in programming, we have very good concept of concatenation, where we have to join 2 statements. Now let me run this program again. Hi, I'm Abby. What's your name? Okay. Meenakshi. Welcome, Meenakshi. So you've got the like significance of join operator. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So we have covered motion block, looks block, sound block, even we are covering control, even we have, covered. Though we are covering very basic blocks, in further programming, we will cover the very advanced blocks also, right? and sensing block, the one of the block like ask block, right? And operators. Now let us take one more program, because the requests are coming that we have to wind up the session by 5. So we'll try to cover major like program. And
Ma'am, are we covering broadcast block? The request is there. Like,
broadcast would be covered in the next session only, because
okay.
that's something very take the conversation between the two sprites. So
Okay.
in today's session, I will be exploring, because I have explored the basic IDLE of the Scratch as well as some basic programming.
Yeah.
In the upcoming session, we will, continue more projects and more blocks, and that would be more integrated
Yeah.
STG and many other. Uh, is someone is saying something?
No, no, I've muted.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes.
Bhupender sir, you have something to be asked?
No, no.
Okay.
Okay. So let's take another program using variables and operator, and I'll try to explain it in proper, elaborate in proper way. Okay. Let's change the vector first. Very simple one.
What is this?
Okay. So variables block means you can create your own variables, right? For example, I'm going to create a program where I have to take 2 number from the user, okay? And I have to display the result. Now, getting 2 number from the user, it has to be saved somewhere, right? So let me, can you just tell me how many variable do we need to create for this program? We have to take, I have to create, add the sum of 2 number. So how many variable do we need for the same? 2, 3, anyone else? How many variables? 2. Then anyone else? 4. So let me tell you the correct answer is 3. We have to declare 3 variable. 2 for storing numbers and third for storing result. Simple, as simple, because we will be getting 2 number from the user, then we will going to add those 2 number, then we will store that result in the third variable, and then we display it. Quite obvious, we need 3 variables for the same. Okay. Now let me start with the coding part. First of all, I'll going to create a 3 variables, right? Num1, then another variable num2, and one more variable for storing result. Okay, so here we have 3 variables. Now let's start with the coding part. And what could be the first block? Tell me, right in the box, Sony chat box, what would be the first block? When will be the next
Start.
session? Every Saturday, ma'am, we have planned. We will let you know. That is set. What would the very first block? Very first block. How about the event?
Start.
Yes, event block. Of course, we have to create a trigger. Okay, so we have to start
Excuse
with
me,
the.
Meenakshi madam.
Yes, sir.
Our mic was disabled from your end, so we are not able to open our mic to say something. Because when you're asking the
No,
question, how many
it
variable
is
is required, when I tried, it was locked from your end.
it is available now. We had few disturbance, so it was
No,
been blocked for a moment. Now you
no,
can.
because Meenakshi madam was asking question, I was ready to give the answer, but my mic was locked, so I was not able to give the
Okay.
answer that 3 variable is required.
No problem, sir. We'll see later on. No problem.
Okay, ma'am.
They will be having a more question later on. Okay. So when the green flag clicked first block, now our time to take 2 number from the user. Okay. Now we have to get first number. Let us decompose it using computational thinking. Let's get 1 number from the user, first number. So can you tell me, right in chat box, which block will we going to use for the same? Which block?
Set block.
Set block.
Variable.
You have to get the input from the user. We have
Variable
just
block.
done it.
Ask block.
Yes, ask block. Recently, we have done the program where the Abby has asked my name. I have entered it. So of course, you will going to use the ask block. Okay.
Excuse me, मैम.
Yes, ma'am.
मैम as आपने अभी जैसे किया num1 num2 and result मैम can you please tell it again as network connection was not there.
Okay. See, we have this variable block. Can you see that? It's variable blocks. Okay. Under this category, you have this make a variable option is there. You have to click here. It will show this box, enter the name of your variable, and then click on OK, and it will show here. Is it okay? Is it fine?
Okay,
You similar,
thank you, ma'am.
yeah, okay. So similarly, you can create other like variables also. Now we have dragged the event block. Now what we really want, we want to get first number from the user, and for that we will be using the sensing block. Okay, and sensing block we will drag this as block and notch it or snap it below this notch. Okay, now just change this text, default text, enter first number. Okay, now tell me where will be the number we're going to save as of now? Where the number will going to save? Suppose if I entered my number.
Variable num1.
Answer
Num1.
block. Answer variable.
Yes, answer variable. This is a default variable because firstly it
Variable.
will going to save there. Okay. Because as soon as I enter the number, the number will be saved to this variable. Now I will make use of my variable, whatever I've created this num1, and I will take the value from this answer variable and assign it to my variable. Okay. So yes, so here we have this code set, tag it here, and select num1 from the drop-down list. And we will be using this answer block or answer variable and place it here, placeholder. Okay. Now, similarly, for getting second number from the user, we have to, repeat both the step. So without, dragging both again and again blocks, we'll, right click here and click on duplicate and we'll place it here. Just change the text, enter the second number and select num2. Okay. Is it clear?
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yes, yes. Please ask, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir, please ask.
मैम क्या जैसे कि इसमें आपने वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर नहीं किया है, क्या इसमें वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है? मैं डायरेक्ट हम असाइन कर सकते हैं वैल्यू?
नहीं, वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर किया था सर. आई हैव डिक्लेयर द वेरिएबल. फर्स्ट स्टेप वाज टू डिक्लेयरिंग द वेरिएबल. बेसिकली यू आर सेइंग द डिक्लेरेशन पार्ट जो हमारा प्रोग्रामिंग में होता है. That is what you
Yes,
are
ma'am.
saying. No, basically
Yes,
this is a block-based coding here. We don't require to we already have created our variable. So basically there is no step because this is not a core programming. This is a building blocks programming. We don't need to specify
Okay.
the data type. It's already the things are set up clearly. So we are pretty much okay. We need to create a variable and have to use in the programming. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Now my question is, I will going to ask one question. If our answer will going to save this in this answer variable, then why do we need to create our own variable? Why we have created our own variable? If answer is already saved in answer variable,
To save
why
the
we
previous
have?
result.
Yes, please.
To save the previous result.
Yes, exactly. To save the previous result. Because suppose if we are dealing with the one number only, okay,
Hold
then
a value, madam. To hold value also, variable need to hold value.
to hold the value, to save the value. Basically, the point is if we are dealing with the one number only, then it's okay. We can simply use the answer variable and can, print the result just like in the previous program I have done. Because my name was saved in the answer variable, I simply use a join operator and concatenate it using the say block. But if we are dealing with more than 2 or 3 values, or we are getting 2 or 3 values from the user, then definitely the next value will replace the previous content, previous value. For example, if I'll run this program, it will ask enter the first number. Suppose I have entered 12. That will be going to save in under the in this answer variable. Okay. Now, if I have not used this one variable, and if I ask another number, the next number, if I'll provide 10, that will replace the previous value. Okay. So of course we need a variable, our own variable to store the value. This is just a temporary thing to holding the value, because that could be changed in when the another, like the question would arise or any other content would be received. Okay. So here, till here we have received, we have make the code, or we have make the arrangement to get two number from the user. Now the next thing, what could be done? Think, what could be the next step? Now, suppose we have taken two number from the user. What
Add
could be the
add
next
this
step?
number, ma'am. Addition of this number.
Okay, addition of this number. And which block category we can use for the
Operator
same?
block.
Yes,
Operator
operator
block.
block. Yes, but again, we have to take the set variable, and from the drop down list, we have to select result. Okay, this is the third variable. Now, in this placeholder, we can use this operator variable addition. Okay. So what could be come in both the placeholder? Tell me fast.
We have to drag the value.
Num1
Very
and
good.
num2.
Num1
Yes,
and num2. Num1 and
yes.
num2.
Num1 and num2. Num1 and num2. Okay. So till here we have calculated the result. Again, do we need to do something, or is the program is complete?
For displaying
Yes.
Ma'am,
For
print that
displaying,
value. Print that value. Print.
yes, to display the result, then which block we will going to use?
say block.
Say block is there. Say where we will going to find the say block? Under which category? Fast, fast.
Looks.
Sorry? Looks. Yes, yes. Looks block. Because we don't have a sprite here, so that's why it's not showing. Let me add some random sprite, okay? Okay, we have done a little bit, let me do it first, okay? Now looks, and here we have a save block. Actually, we have done coding on the backdrops. Now we want to show our result. Okay, so simply there's the way, simply we can either we can track this result, or if we want to represent in a good way, right? So what could we use? Which operator we can use for the same? If we want to represent like that, the addition of two number is result. So what could be used?
Join.
Joint, yes. Joint operator. You can put a result here and you can change the text here. And let's click on the green flag. Okay. So it will ask me enter the first number, 12. Okay. Just a minute. Okay, you can see the result. I think there's some problem with the sprite, but it's showing the result in here only.
Yes, we can see the results.
Yeah, result is showing, but yes, actually there's some problem with the sprite part is not visible. Are you able to see the sprite?
No, madam.
No, ma'am.
Maybe some technical issues. But yes, we can see the result. The concept is working because every time we can, if we click on the green flag, it will reset the value of the variable to 0 so that it will not visible the latest value. And you can, start with your coding part and showing the result. Okay. So these are the use of the variables, and we have covered everything. Every block we have touched every block, though we have not covered every blocks of every blocks category, right? Blocks panel. So in the next session, we will covering more. Like we will going to cover some more projects using this motion block, looks block, and we will try to cover the broadcast also. Definitely we'll doing that. And of course, we will try to cover my blocks. Very interesting concept. We will be using the pan extension. Many more things are coming on the way. And of course, we will going to have a lot of fun while creating the project that must be integrated to some subject or some STG integration would be there. The main thing that to, come up with more creativity so that we can introduce the same in our classroom and motivate the same for the student. So that is for today only. And in case if you have any queries, any question, you can ask. And some link has been, shared in the chat box also.
Yeah,
Where you
yeah, ma'am.
do some like you have to click here, click there, and have to fill that form for the certificates and like feedback. So in case any questions, any like queries there, you can ask.
And how many more webinar will be there?
Sir, I have to say on this, we have shared few links in the group. So, as a part of the Educators Guild of India community, I request every one of the participant to please join our WhatsApp group. So, when you become a member and join the WhatsApp group, you will be shared with every part of the information of the coming events in the webinars. And like we have also shared the link for the attendance and the certificate. And then the last link says for the feedback form regarding the session. With every session, we'll be taking the feedback. So whatever better we can do in the next coming session. So every new information regarding the upcoming webinars also will be shared. So I request everyone to join the WhatsApp group. So we have already a vision like as a part of the Educators Guild, we have a mission where we can help you to be a empowered educator globally, and where we will be able to share with you the lots of new tools, resources, and the support you need into this education area.
As you know that vacation is going on, if we know a little bit early, according to that we can plan our program so that so and so time to so and so will be made free ourselves.
Yeah, surely we'll be taking care for this, and we'll be timely sharing all the information. And in the WhatsApp group, we do share these information prior 1 week, means at least the minimum time we keep in the slot is like at least a week prior we start sharing the informations.
So thank you, madam.
Okay. I request everyone
Thank
to
you, Meenakshi
please.
madam, for your informative.
You're most welcome. And thank you so much for your time. And thank for being a wonderful audience.
Thank you so much, Meenakshi ma'am. Thank you, participants, for being in the session. We'll be meeting in the next session soon, and every part of the information will be shared in the groups. I request everyone to join the groups and become the member of this community through the links.
Thank you, Tipti madam.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I request everyone to fill the attendance in the certificate link so you all can be provided with the certificates of the session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, team, we can close the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.